Welcome to Speak English Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak English Podcast. I'm David, and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Sarah. How are you feeling today, Sarah?
Thanks, David. I'm fantastic and super excited about today's topic. I have a feeling our listeners are going to love what we're sharing with them today.
You know what? I was just thinking about this yesterday. Have you ever watched a movie in English and felt completely lost, even though you know the words?
Oh my goodness, yes. That used to happen to me all the time. I would read English perfectly, but when people spoke, it was like they were speaking a different language.
Exactly. And that's why today's episode is going to be a game changer. We're talking about how to improve your English listening skills fast. And I mean really fast.
This is not about studying more grammar or memorizing vocabulary lists. We're going to share the real secrets that native speakers never tell you about understanding spoken English.
Before we dive in, if you're tired of asking people to repeat themselves, or if you want to finally understand movies without subtitles, hit that like button right now.
And don't forget to subscribe because we're building a community of English learners who actually achieve fluency, not just study it forever without real progress.
Here's something most English teachers never explain. Listening isn't about knowing more words or understanding complex rules. It's actually about training your brain to recognize sound, patterns, and natural speech, rhythms that native speakers use every single day.
Think of your brain like a muscle that needs specific training. When you first started learning English, you probably focused on reading and writing, but listening requires completely different neural pathways that most people never properly develop.
The biggest breakthrough moment happens when you stop trying to translate everything in your head. Instead of hearing English and converting it to your native language, your brain starts processing English thoughts directly in English.
Natural spoken English has a flow and rhythm that's completely different from textbook English. Words connect together, sounds blend, and the speed creates patterns that your ears need to recognize automatically without conscious effort.
Most learners get frustrated because they expect to understand every single word. But that's not how native speakers listen either. We focus on meaning, context, and the overall message rather than catching each individual word perfectly.
Your listening skills improve fastest when you understand that English has natural contractions, reduced sounds, and connected speech patterns that create a musical quality. This rhythm is the secret to real comprehension.
The magic happens when your brain stops working so hard to understand and starts recognizing these patterns automatically. It's like learning to ride a bike. Once you get it, you never forget how to do it.
Real listening fluency means your brain processes English at the same speed native speakers talk, without delay, without translation, and without the exhausting mental effort that makes conversations feel so difficult.
This is why some people can study English for years but still struggle with conversations, while others develop amazing listening skills in months. It's all about training your brain with the right approach and materials.
Once you understand this concept, everything changes. You stop fighting against the natural flow of English and start working with it, which makes listening feel effortless and enjoyable instead of stressful and overwhelming.
Let me show you exactly what we mean with a real example. Sarah, I want you to say this sentence the way you would naturally speak to a friend. I am going to call you later tonight when I get home from work.
I'm going to call you later tonight when I get home from work. Did you hear how different that sounded? The words flowed together naturally, and some sounds changed completely when I spoke at normal conversational speed.
Perfect. Now let's try another one. Say this sentence naturally. What are you doing this weekend? Are you planning to go anywhere special or just staying home and relaxing with your family?
What are you doing this weekend? You planning to go anywhere special or just staying home and relaxing with your family? Notice how I dropped some words and connected others. That's real English conversation.
Here's another example of natural speech patterns. I'll say a common phrase that sounds completely different when spoken naturally. I would have helped you if I had known you were having trouble with that project.
I would have helped you if I'd known you were having trouble with that project. Those contractions and connected sounds happen automatically when we speak naturally. And that's what your ears need to get used to hearing.
Let's do one more demonstration. This time, listen to how the rhythm changes when I speak naturally. You should have seen the movie that everyone was talking about last week because it was absolutely incredible.
You should have seen the movie everyone was talking about last week, because it was absolutely incredible. The rhythm and flow create a musical pattern that makes English sound smooth and connected rather than choppy.
These examples show you why textbook English and real spoken English can sound like two completely different languages. When you practice with natural speech patterns, your listening skills develop much faster.
The key is recognizing that this natural flow isn't wrong or sloppy English. It's actually how fluent speakers communicate every day. Your brain needs to learn these patterns to understand real conversations effortlessly.
When you master English listening skills, the first amazing benefit is that conversations become enjoyable instead of stressful. You stop worrying about missing important information and start actually participating naturally in discussions.
Your confidence skyrockets because you finally understand what people are saying the first time they say it. No more embarrassing moments of nodding and pretending you understood when you actually had no idea what was happening.
Here's something incredible that happens. Your speaking automatically improves too. When you hear natural English patterns regularly, you start using them in your own speech without even thinking about it, or studying them separately.
You can finally enjoy English entertainment like movies, TV shows, podcasts, and YouTube videos without constantly pausing or relying on subtitles. Imagine understanding every joke, every emotion, every detail naturally.
Your professional life transforms because you can participate confidently in meetings, phone calls, and presentations. You understand instructions clearly and respond appropriately without the stress of miscommunication or confusion.
Social situations become so much more enjoyable when you can follow group conversations, understand different accents, and catch subtle meanings that make communication rich and interesting rather than just basic information exchange.
You develop the ability to understand English spoken at normal speed, which means you can communicate with native speakers without asking them to slow down or repeat themselves constantly throughout conversations.
Your brain starts processing English automatically, which reduces mental fatigue. Conversations stop feeling like exhausting mental gymnastics and become natural, effortless interactions that you actually look forward to having.
You gain access to authentic English content that teaches you about culture, humor, and real-life situations. This deeper understanding helps you connect with people on a more meaningful level than just basic communication.
The ultimate benefit is feeling like you truly belong in English-speaking environments. When you understand everything around you, you feel confident, included, and ready to express yourself fully without language barriers holding you back.
Step 1 is choosing content that's slightly below your current level. If you're intermediate, start with beginner-friendly materials. This builds confidence and success momentum instead of frustration and overwhelm that stops progress.
Step 2 involves listening to the same content multiple times with different focuses. First, listen just for enjoyment. Second time for main ideas. Third time for details. Repetition builds the neural pathways your brain needs.
Step 3 is using active prediction techniques. Pause the audio regularly and try to guess what comes next based on context. This engages your brain actively instead of passively hoping to catch every word by accident.
Step 4 focuses on one speaker at a time when listening to conversations. Don't try to follow everyone simultaneously. Master one person's voice and speaking style first, then gradually add complexity to your practice.
Step 5 is the consistency rule. Practice 15 minutes daily rather than 3 hours once weekly. Daily exposure creates stronger neural connections and helps your brain adapt to English sound patterns much more effectively.
Step 6 involves gradually increasing difficulty as you improve. Move from slower content to normal speed, from clear speakers to various accents, from simple topics to complex discussions. Challenge yourself progressively without overwhelming yourself.
Step 7 is practicing with authentic materials like podcasts, interviews, and casual conversations rather than only textbook recordings. Real English has natural hesitations, interruptions, and overlapping speech that you need to recognize.
Step 8 focuses on understanding context and overall meaning rather than catching every single word. Native speakers miss words too, but they understand the message. Train yourself to think like a native listener does.
Step 9 involves creating listening goals for each practice session. Maybe today you focus on understanding emotions, tomorrow on following instructions, next time on catching main arguments in discussions. Targeted practice accelerates improvement.
Step 10 is tracking your progress with simple notes about what you understood or patterns you noticed. This helps your brain recognize improvement and stay motivated during challenging periods when progress feels slow or invisible.
The biggest mistake learners make is trying to understand every single word in a conversation. When you focus intensely on one word you missed, you automatically miss the next 10 words and lose the entire flow of meaning.
Another major error is only practicing with slow, formal English from textbooks. Real conversations happen at normal speed with natural contractions, connected speech, and casual expressions that textbooks never teach you properly.
Many people get discouraged too quickly and give up after a few weeks. Listening improvement takes time and patience. There will be days when you feel like you're not making progress, but that's completely normal in the learning process.
Don't rely on subtitles as a permanent crutch for understanding. It's okay to use them occasionally for very difficult content, but if you always depend on subtitles, your ears never learn to process spoken English independently.
Avoid perfectionism at all costs. You don't need to understand 100% of every conversation to communicate successfully. Even native speakers don't catch every word in every situation they encounter throughout their daily lives.
Stop translating everything in your head before you can understand it. This mental translation process slows down your comprehension dramatically and prevents you from developing the automatic understanding that fluent listeners have naturally.
Don't jump to extremely difficult content too quickly just because you're eager to improve fast. Watching complex movies or news programs before you're ready creates frustration and actually slows down your overall progress significantly.
Many learners practice only with one type of content or accent. Real English comes in many varieties, speeds, and contexts. Limiting yourself to one style prevents you from developing comprehensive listening skills for real-world situations.
Avoid passive listening where you just play English in the background while doing other activities. Active, focused listening practice is much more effective than hours of unfocused background exposure that your brain ignores.
Don't compare your progress to other learners or expect linear improvement. Everyone learns at different speeds, and listening skills develop in waves rather than steady daily increases. Trust your process and celebrate small victories along the way.
Here's your challenge for this week. Find one English podcast episode or YouTube video that genuinely interests you. Choose something about 20 minutes long and make sure it's slightly easier than your current listening level.
Listen to this exact same content once every day for 7 consecutive days. Don't worry about understanding everything perfectly the first time. Focus on enjoying the content and noticing how much more you catch each day.
Keep a simple listening journal during this challenge. After each session, write down one new thing you understood clearly, or one speech pattern you noticed. This helps your brain recognize progress and stay motivated.
On day 1, just listen for enjoyment and general understanding. On day 3, try to predict what speakers will say next. By day 5, focus on catching emotional tones and attitudes in their voices.
Pay attention to how the same words and phrases start sounding more familiar each day. You'll be amazed at how your brain begins recognizing patterns and processing the English more automatically with each repetition.
Share your progress with our community by leaving a comment below. Tell us what content you chose and how the challenge is going for you. We read every comment and love celebrating your listening breakthroughs with you.
Don't choose content that's too difficult or too easy. The perfect level is when you understand about 70% on the first listen. This creates the ideal challenge for rapid improvement without overwhelming frustration.
Make this challenge part of your daily routine by listening at the same time each day. Maybe during breakfast, your commute, or before bed. Consistency with timing helps build stronger learning habits that stick long-term.
After completing the 7-day challenge, you'll have proof that repeated listening works. Use this success to build confidence and motivation for tackling new content. With the same systematic approach we've taught you today.
Remember, this isn't just about completing a challenge. You're training your brain to process English naturally and building the neural pathways that will serve you for the rest of your English learning journey and beyond.
Today, we've shown you that improving English listening isn't about studying more vocabulary or rules. It's about training your brain to recognize natural speech patterns, connected sounds, and the musical rhythm of real conversations.
We demonstrated how native speakers use contractions and connected speech that sounds completely different from textbook English. Understanding these natural patterns is the key to breaking through your listening barriers once and for all.
Remember the benefits we discussed: confident conversations, effortless entertainment, professional success, and that amazing feeling of truly belonging in English-speaking environments without constantly struggling to understand what's happening around you.
We gave you a complete step-by-step system. Choose appropriate content. Practice consistently. Use active listening techniques, and gradually increase difficulty. Plus, we showed you how to avoid the common mistakes that slow down most learners.
If you made it this far, it's because you're serious about improving your English fluency. Hit that subscribe button and like this episode to help other learners find the practical advice they need to succeed.
Take our 7-day listening challenge and let us know how it goes. Leave a comment below telling us about your progress. And if this episode helped you, write the word patterns so we know you found value in our content.
Your listening breakthrough is waiting for you. Every technique we shared today has helped thousands of learners just like you develop the confident English listening skills they dreamed of having for years.
Thank you for spending time with us on Speak English Podcast. Remember, consistent practice with the right methods creates amazing results. We believe in you, and we can't wait to hear about your listening success stories.